Welcome to Chef's Pleasure. Today we're gonna bake a tasty olive and herb bread. For our bread we need some all-purpose wheat flour, some whole grain flour, a bit of fresh yeast, salt, black olives, some fresh herbs, some lukewarm water, not too hot, important. So we start with the yeast and dissolve it with some of the water. I just mix it through with a hand. You might as well use a whisk, whatever you prefer. Then I put in a little bit of the flour, mix it, and then I leave it for about 10 minutes so the yeast can work a little bit. Meanwhile, I do mix my dry ingredients. So I mix the all-purpose flour and the whole grain flour. Put in the salt, mix it well together. You may use as well a kneading machine. I tend to prefer just kneading it by hands. If you do make a lot of dough, it will make your life easier, obviously, just using a machine. So in this case I use some fresh rosemary and fresh thyme, but you can basically use any herbs you like. Chop it up quickly and then just add it to the flour. You could use dry herbs as well if you have nothing else available at home. If you have fresh herbs, just use fresh herbs. I use some black olives here. You can use green olives, or you can use sun-dried tomatoes. After 10 minutes the yeast has been bubbly already, so I add the water yeast mixture to the flour. Just clean out the bowl with the remaining water. If the water is too hot, the yeast will die and your bread won't proof in the end. So this sometimes is the mistake that happens. I tend to use quite a little amount of yeast, as little as possible, and just leave the dough more time to rise. So in the beginning, just put the water and the flour together just so it binds. Once you have a little dough, just leave it there for 20 minutes without kneading. I cover it with a foil, leave it there 20 minutes, and then I start kneading the dough. It just makes it a lot easier to work with the dough later. So this 20 minutes has gone by. As you can see, the dough is quite soft. Normally most people would add more flour now at this stage, but don't do it, just leave it like it is. And then you use this technique that you can see here. You grab it on the side and just basically bang it on the table and stretch it over. It doesn't look like much at the moment, but this way you can develop the gluten structure of the flour. And well, it'll take about 10 minutes. It's a bit of work and will probably make you sweat. But well, you know, saves you money for the gym. Here you can see a few minutes has passed already, and the dough is already nice and stretchy. It doesn't stick that much anymore either. At this stage I do what you call a stretch and fold. You just stretch it to the outside and press it in the middle. Turn it over, and then you shape it to a nice and round loaf. See, just stretch it, push it in the middle. This way you get a bit of tension on the outside of the bread, and that makes it possible just to shape a proper loaf. And this way it will rise much better later as well. What you see on the outside is just some olive. Using one of those pastry cards makes your life a lot easier, by the way. So I left the dough there for about 2 hours just to double in size. Covered with a tin foil or plastic foil. Then you put it on a slightly floured work surface And you do the same thing that you've done before, just once more. Just press out a little bit of the air and just shape it to a nice and round loaf. At this stage you already see this it has quite a bit of texture, the dough already. It's not as soft as it was in the beginning. So once you've done this, you shape a nice round loaf again. And then I have a baking paper here. I put it on that baking paper. Just cover it slightly with a bit more flour on top. This will just give it a nice rustic look when it comes out of the oven. I do score the bread here before baking or before rising with a sharp knife. You can just do it after proving as well, before you put it in the oven. Sometimes I prefer this way, no special reason really. I'll leave it here for roughly 45 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on the temperature you got in the room. This has been 1 hour. You preheat the oven to the maximum. I put in this glass baking tray to heat it up just to the max. The hotter it is, the better. And the bottom, I put another tray with water, so you get some steam in the oven. That's quite important. And then you transfer this bread into this hot tray. The steam in the oven will help the bread to develop a nice crust. So I bake it the first 20 minutes with maximum speed, as much as your oven can give. Here you can see 20 minutes has gone by already. A nice crust has formed. Now take out the water, and I finish it baking for roughly another 30 minutes, but I turn down the heat a little bit. After 50 minutes, that's the result, and that is what we all love, the sound of fresh bread. The smell is just amazing. As you can see, it has risen nicely. The crust is super nice. All you really need is some fresh butter, a bit of salt, and you have a yummy bread. Enjoy! Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this little video, and if you did so, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and many other videos and recipes are going to follow, promise. See you soon, bye bye.